What's shaking, people? Back with another reaction, back with some more hardcore. And we're back with the final tune that I haven't yet reacted to from Formek's Insight EP on the wonderful Cenobite Records. I mentioned it before, this tune, or these tunes, were originally released in 2021 in digital format, and then the vinyl came out earlier this year, 2022. So yeah, I've reacted to all of the tracks but one. It's funny, the 4 tracks I've reacted to already, Enter the Temple, Murder Sleep, From the Ashes of This World, and Consciousness, all have what I would describe as a very, classic Cenobite sound. They're atmospheric, they're acidic, they're sort of, very artistic and sort of multi-layered. They're not just, straightforward smash your brain off with a very sort of simple, belligerent sort of hardcore structure, which, to be clear, I'm not hating on that style. I like different styles of hardcore, and I got a place for the, super hard and fast style. But yeah, the Cenobite style, it's more atmospheric, it's more, again, layered with acid and sort of, kind of wicked samples and sort of frenetic, tension-filled synth lines. So the 4 tracks that I've already reacted to from this are very much in that style. This last one, called Death Infection, which it samples a news report, I think, from the early days of COVID in 2020, and I believe it's like an English language and I think maybe American broadcast, although Roberto sort of, he puts effects on it, he kind of slows down the vocal and makes it sound very dark and twisted. But yeah, I believe it's a sample from sort of an early broadcast about the onset of COVID. And the track itself is called Death Infection, and this tune, I would say, is a bit more in the put your fist in the air, stomp the floor, get up by the barricade or the speaker wall and just kind of rock out sort of hardcore. It's a little less cerebral, which is totally fine. I like releases that have different flavors. But yeah, I just noticed it when I was going through this record that I like this tune a lot, but it is interesting in the sense that it's a bit different. It's on a different side of the street from the other 4 tunes on the vinyl. So yeah, let's get it. This is Roberto Stramaccioni, Formek, on Cenobite Records, originally 2021, though as I said, this vinyl is actually 2022. And once again, I did want to give a big shout out to Roberto. He'll occasionally throw in some personal touches when I get records for him, and I always very much appreciate that. So big ups to Roberto. Let's get it. This is Death Infection by Formek on Cenobite Records. These mechanical sort of rapid, frantic synth elements. Kick and bass combo is like a cannon.
Infections worldwide and more than 11,000 deaths. More than 275,000 infections worldwide and more than 11,000 deaths. Italy crossed the grim milestone this week.
Come on. That synth is so fantastic.
You can take care of you.
Meanwhile, the kick and bassline artillery continues. Feels like a fire is filtering through. love when it does that bar transition there. The first beat into the new bar is like, it slides and it's like, ugh. It's a great sample. It's like one that, you know, I'm always thinking about like movie lines and like whatever. I never would have thought a sample like this would like work so well, but it's a really well chosen bit. I really do love that first beat, like whip in. It honestly just feels like, oh, that was wicked. I love the way that sort of bass sort of flared and like extended for a second before it fully stopped. But I was gonna say, it's like, it's a track that would make the dance floor feel like a battle zone, like you're in the trenches. Just a wicked, wicked tune. And again, I like it a lot, even if it is notably different to my ears and brain anyway than the other 4 tracks on the vinyl. So yeah, like I said, room in my brain for different flavors of hardcore, and while the Cenobite sound might be one of my all-time favorite, you know, as well as like what's sort of the like classic Gabber sound now, when it's made like referred to as like the early hardcore sound. But again, I do have room in my brain for a bit faster and like more smashing hardcore. I don't know if that technically qualifies as speedcore. Maybe it's still a little bit too like low BPM to make that qualification. But it's, again, a type of track that suggests to me a different flavor of hardcore. It suggests a slightly different type of set. I would mix that in a different type of set perhaps than I would like other Cenobite tunes. Although I say that, I think when I first got this record, I mixed all 5 tunes in the same mix. I think I like ended with this, or it was like one of the last ones. And I think the reason I made that choice was like, you know, I'm going to mix most of the set. It'll have that early like psycore sort of like hybrid sound, and then when I get to the end I'll use this one, which it works better if it's sort of like, you know, at one end of the mix, because then it feels like more of a stylistic progression rather than putting it in the middle of the mix and then going back to song or tracks that are kind of like what came before it. So then it feels, it's a bit more of like an odd interruption. So in any case, like I said, I enjoy the tune a lot despite it being a bit different than the other ones on the vinyl. Shout out to Roberto once again. You know, I'll keep saying it, arguably like in a 3-way tie for my favorite hardcore producer. Just absolutely love his tunes like every time. So yeah, do let me know what you think. Other than that, I will see you next time. Peace.